How are we all feeling today?
Oh, we're halfway there.
This is PowerUp 2019. The first half is all about empowering you with information. The entire theme of today is about driving us to the next level.
So this is what today is all about. This is where we've been, where we are, and we're now transitioning to what this is the new BAU of Direct. Where we've been, where we are, and where we're going to. That's what I wanted to cover off first of all this morning. So a bit of a visual up there on the screen of basically the journey that we've gone on over the last 6 months. And what a 6 months it's been. We had the ASIC review report that was delivered back in August, and then the changes that we needed to make to our business off the back of that to be more in line with customer outcomes. So the removal of those lead sources, which unfortunately then also meant that we had to reduce the size of our sales teams. And then since then, the response that we've made to that. So delivering our new remuneration models, both first of all in Sales Direct and now just recently in retention. You guys nearly may have missed because there's so much going on now on level 5, but we've actually kicked off our own running of the Suncorp sales team up in Brisbane, and we'll also be activating outbound channels later on in the year that you'll be able to see as well. In the meantime as well, the final change that hopefully that we're aware of that took place in Direct was also the removal of DM in NRMA just recently as well. And as that's been playing out over the last few weeks, we've kicked off and nearly completed, as Dan just touched on, our new customer conversation.
Please welcome Tim Thorne.
You know, this was the shittiest year that I can remember. So before we move on, let's just have a look and see how shit that year was. The good news is, this is not the only bunch of people who had a shit year. In fact, there are plenty of people who had an even shittier year than you did, yeah? As you can see, you know, there's our sales on a rolling 12-month basis. They're quite a bit lower than they used to be. That's the slide on the left. But if you look across to the right-hand side, you can see how everyone in the market has changed over that period. You can actually see that the market's down over 20%, and we're down actually only about 16%, yeah? So actually, on average, we had an averagely slightly less shitty year than the whole market did, yeah? Some people, though, had a really bad time. Great Greenstone, which is real, actually, if you look at that, they're down 20-odd%.
Johnny, I was hoping no one did that.
It really is an opportunity for us to focus on moving forward, to think about what success looks like in 2019 and our plans for getting there.
When I was a 7 or 8 year old kid, I watched a movie that had this pivotal scene in it. Does anyone know what this movie is? Karate Kid. It's Karate Kid, yeah? Amazing, iconic movie. The reason I'm sharing this story with you is 30 years since this movie, Cobra Kai has come out on YouTube Premium. And the funny thing about Cobra Kai is they literally follow these two characters 30 years on. Literally 30 years on, what are they doing in life, yeah? The gist of the story is a lot of things can happen over a very long time frame that if we don't learn from the lessons of the past, you could end up missing out on a real opportunity. So what I'd like to position to you today is Alliances is going through a very interesting evolution in our business. So the evolution of Alliances is twofold, and what you're going to see from my team is a couple of things. My Strategic Alliances team is made up of Strategic Alliance managers who work with every single partner on a day-to-day basis. That team is doubling in size over the course of this month, yeah? So we're gonna go from what we had 4 people, we're gonna go straight up to 8. Not just for the Suncorp brands, but specifically to re-engage with every single one of our existing partnerships that you're already working on. And what's critical that's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 months, and you'll see, is we're going to actively engage with the sales floor and the retention teams in particular to really craft out some very clear strategies for every single brand over the next 6 to 12 months and then onto the year 2 and year 3 time horizons. We are about to add another stable of 4 brands under the Suncorp umbrella. That's going to take us, about 11 mil first year, straight on top of what we're earning as a business and how many customers we're protecting every year. At an in-force level, we are going to nudge, well, we'll crack 200 million in in-force out of just Alliance's portfolio this year, this financial year. That's a huge milestone that we're all going to be able to celebrate hopefully very soon.
Please welcome our GM of Distribution Marketing, Simon Charlin.
So from a Suncorp perspective, it's obviously a massive opportunity for us. We as marketing team took on the marketing of the Suncorp brands from day one. At the moment we're going through basically a 100-day transition plan, working with Suncorp and the agencies to bring that activity in-house and away from some of their agencies, and to set ourselves up for the program of work that we've got ahead of us. So I thought I'd take you quickly through some of the work that we do on a BAU basis in the channels that remain. So from a Google perspective, digital marketing, SEM is obviously really important for us. It's a massive driver of lead volume. It's a very expensive channel and very competitive one, so it's one that we've got to get right. That graph there on the left is basically a model that we've built with our media agency that tells us at any given time the lead volume that we can expect to get on a certain brand for a certain product based on the spend that we're allocating to that brand. So across the bottom is spend, and down the side is lead volume, and all those different colours are all the different brands that we're going to have exposure to once we bring Suncorp on. So it's a model that we use on a daily, weekly basis with our agency to optimise spend. When we want to change spend patterns and move it between products and between brands, we look at this model and we work out how far can we push budgets to make sure that we get leads and we keep within our ratios. So it's a great model that the agency's built with us over the last few months to give us real-time data and to be able to answer some of the questions that we've got around if we had different opportunities to invest in different ways, how we change that spend up basically at the click of a finger. Website optimization. So customer journeys and websites are obviously really key for us. This slide is just a fancy way of showing that we have a cycle of ongoing optimization and testing around the website that we're working through with our partners in IT in terms of exploring and hypothesising around what tests we might want to run. Campaigning, I spoke a lot about this last time, and one of the key things from a campaigning perspective is we've had this platform, this Adobe platform from a marketing automation perspective that has taken a couple of years to get right and to leverage properly. We're at the point now where we are leveraging that, and we've got, I mean, there's one thing to have a platform, but we need all the data to be plugged into it properly. The data work has been done, and it means that we can start doing stuff that allows us to recognise the interactions we've had with customers and play back some of the information that they've given us. So if you look at reminder campaigns now, we can feed back to them what their quote was, what a new quote might be, what their name is, what their email address, pre-populate some of these things as they go into the next stages of a journey from an email onto a website. It sounds like pretty basic stuff, but we couldn't do it before.
Our GM of Distribution Operations, the lovely Sue Strigas.
Today what I wanted to do was talk about some of the priorities for operations, and our priorities are your priorities. In fact, we have very similar KPIs. So the powering up, and the reason that we're going to really hit the financial year running, is we want to lift our contact rates, we want to be smashing conversion rates, and the priority of operations is going to be to help and really enable the direct business to do that. In the retention space, we really want to be helping you guys from a technology perspective, and in the upgrade space from a campaign perspective, we want to be optimising that. So the focus of the operations group as a whole will be partnering with you to make sure that we're successful together. Your success is going to be our success.
Our new direct BAU is here now. So today is all about taking us to the next level.
So our new reward and recognition program has landed and is ready to launch next Monday, the 1st of April. I'd like to introduce you all to the TAL Direct Quarterly All-Stars League.
It has been an amazing 3-month journey, I think, for all of us. I call it amazing, Tim calls it shitty. Somewhere in between we'll get there.
The first thing you need to do is all give yourselves a round of applause that you survived the shittiest year in the history of life insurance and you're still here, yeah? We have, between us and what we've got from Suncorp, the biggest portfolio of life insurance that's there.
We've got some fantastic initiatives coming from everywhere, from marketing, from alliances, from ops, and you've got 100%, in fact 200% support from everyone in the business.
The second half of today is about fun and teamwork, because remember, it takes teamwork to make the dream work, yes?
Welcome to Survivor. Your objective today is to outthink, outlast and outplay all your fellows to rise